Imagine a stormy sea at night, waves crashing like thunder, a ship splintering in the darkness, and a father's heart shattering into a million pieces. That's where our story begins, not with triumph, but with unimaginable loss. But hold on, because this isn't just any tale, it's the true story behind one of the most beloved hymns ever written, It Is Well With My Soul, penned by Horatio Gates Spafford. If you've ever felt the weight of the world on your shoulders, wondering how anyone could find peace in the midst of chaos, this story will grip your heart and maybe even change how you see your own storms. Stick with me till the end, and if it moves you like it moves me every time, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories that remind us of the power of faith and resilience. Now, let's dive in. Horatio Gates Spafford was born in 1828 in Troy, New York, a man whose life seemed destined for success from the start. Tall, with a kind face framed by a neatly trimmed beard, Horatio had a sharp mind and a warmer heart. He moved to Chicago as a young man, where he built a thriving law practice, specializing in real estate. The city was booming in the mid-1800s, with railroads snaking across the prairies and skyscrapers beginning to pierce the skyline. Horatio married Anna Larsson, a beautiful Norwegian immigrant with eyes as blue as the fjords she left behind. Together, they created a home filled with laughter, love, and the pitter-patter of little feet. By the early 1870s, they had 5 children, 4 daughters, Annie, Maggie, Bessie, and Tanetta, and a son, Horatio Jr. The Spaffords were pillars of their community, devout Presbyterians who hosted Bible studies and supported charitable causes. Horatio's faith wasn't just Sunday morning religion, it was the anchor of his soul, guiding his decisions and fueling his generosity. But life, as we all know, has a way of testing even the strongest anchors. The first crack came in 1870 when scarlet fever swept through Chicago like a silent thief. It claimed the life of their beloved 4-year-old son, Horatio Jr. The boy had been the light of the household, with his curly hair and infectious giggle. Horatio and Anna watched helplessly as fever ravaged his tiny body, his breaths growing shallower until they stopped altogether. The grief was suffocating. Horatio would later confide to friends that he felt as if God had turned his face away, but even in the darkness, he clung to Scripture, whispering verses like Job's, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him." Anna, strong and steadfast, held the family together, her tears hidden behind a veil of quiet resolve. They buried their son in a small plot overlooking Lake Michigan, and life, somehow, trudged on. Then, in October 1871, disaster struck again, this time on a citywide scale. The Great Chicago Fire erupted, a blaze born from a dry summer and a spark in a barn. Flames devoured wooden buildings, leaping from rooftop to rooftop, turning the bustling metropolis into an inferno. Horatio's law offices, his investments in real estate, everything he had built, was reduced to ashes. The family escaped with their lives, but their home was gone, their fortune wiped out. They huddled in a makeshift shelter with thousands of other refugees, the acrid smell of smoke clinging to their clothes. Horatio, ever the optimist, rolled up his sleeves and helped rebuild. He invested what little remained in new properties, determined to rise from the ruins. But the strain was immense. Anna noticed the lines etching deeper into his forehead, the way his smiles didn't quite reach his eyes anymore. Their daughters, sensing the tension, clung closer to their parents, their innocent questions piercing the air. "Papa, will we have a home again?" By 1873, Horatio decided the family needed a break, a chance to heal and recharge. Their dear friend, the famous evangelist Dwight L. Moody, was planning a revival tour in England. Why not join him? It would be a vacation mixed with purpose, a way to serve God while escaping the ghosts of Chicago. Horatio booked passage on the luxurious French steamer Ville du Havre for Anna and the 4 girls. He planned to follow shortly after tying up loose ends with a zoning issue in his real estate dealings. As the family prepared, excitement bubbled in the air. The girls packed their dolls and dresses, dreaming of English tea parties and European adventures. Horatio kissed them goodbye at the dock in New York, his heart swelling with love. "I'll see you soon," he promised, waving as the ship pulled away into the Atlantic. What happened next would shatter worlds. On November 22, 1873, in the dead of night, the Ville du Havre collided with the iron-hulled Scottish ship Loch Earn. The impact was catastrophic, a gash ripped open the steamer's side, and icy water rushed in. Chaos erupted, screams piercing the darkness, passengers scrambling for lifeboats. Anna gathered her daughters on deck, tying life preservers around their waists. "Hold on to each other," she urged, her voice steady amid the panic. But the ship sank in just 12 minutes, plunging into the depths with horrifying speed. Anna was separated from the girls in the turmoil. She clung to a piece of wreckage, praying fervently as the cold numbed her limbs. Miraculously, she was rescued by a passing vessel, but her daughters were not. All four, Annie, 11, Maggie, 9, Bessie, 5, and Tanetta, 2, perished in the waves. News of the tragedy rippled across the ocean like aftershocks. Horatio received a telegram from Anna, 2 words that would haunt him forever: saved alone. His world collapsed. Friends found him pacing his office, tears streaming down his face, muttering prayers through sobs. How could God allow this? The man who had lost a son, his fortune, and now his precious daughters, what was left? But in the depths of his despair, a flicker of faith remained. He boarded the next ship to England, determined to reach Anna's side. The voyage was agonizing, days of staring at the endless sea that had claimed his children. As the captain informed him they were passing over the approximate spot of the wreck, Horatio stood at the rail, the wind whipping his coat. Waves lapped below, indifferent to his pain. In that moment, something shifted. Words began to form in his mind, not of bitterness, but of surrender. He retreated to his cabin and penned the lyrics to "It Is Well With My Soul." When peace like a river attendeth my way. When sorrows like sea billows roll. Whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say. It is well with my soul. The hymn poured out of him, stanza after stanza, a testament to unbreakable faith. He drew from Philippians 4 verse 7, the peace that passes understanding, and from his own raw wounds. By the time he reached Anna in Wales, the words were complete. They embraced, weeping together, but also finding solace in shared belief. God gives and God takes away, Anna whispered, echoing Job. Blessed be his name. Their story didn't end in tragedy. Back in Chicago, they welcomed 3 more children, Bertha, Grace, and another son, Horatio. But grief struck again when the boy died at age 4 from scarlet fever, a cruel echo of the past. Undeterred, the Spaffords sought a new purpose. In 1881, inspired by a calling to serve, they moved to Jerusalem with a small group of followers. There, they founded the American Colony, a community dedicated to helping the poor, regardless of faith, Jews, Muslims, Christians alike. They established hospitals, orphanages, and soup kitchens, turning their pain into compassion. Horatio's hymn, set to music by his friend Philip Bliss, who tragically died in a train accident shortly after, spread worldwide, comforting millions in their own trials. Horatio passed away in 1888 at age 59, buried in Jerusalem, but his legacy endures. Anna continued the work until her death in 1923. Their daughter Bertha later wrote a memoir, detailing how faith sustained them. The American colony became a beacon of hope, even aiding during World War I. As we wrap up this incredible journey, think about your own life. Have you faced sea billows of sorrow? Horatio Spafford's story reminds us that peace isn't the absence of storms, it's the presence of God in the midst of them. No matter what you're going through, you can say, "It is well with my soul." If this tale touched you, inspired you to hold on a little tighter, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more stories of triumph over tragedy. Share in the comments, what's your "It Is Well" moment? Let's build a community of encouragement right here. Until next time, may peace like a river attend your way.